Microphone picks up. It looks like the microphone is now functional, which is good. Um, okay, it looks like the stream is doing its thing, which is also good. What else? I guess we should probably talk about this since I am starting early. Just fire off a little tweet. And tweet. Cool. What else? I think that's it. Things look good on my end. So let's get started. So hey, everybody. I am Joshua. Today is July 30th, 2017. And today I am working on my video game Delver, which you can see the website here behind my head. It is at delvergame.com. Delver is a procedural dungeon crawler with fantasy, first person, and roguelike elements in it. We are in early access. We are working hard to get out of early access, and that is part of what this stream is about. This stream is me sharing our current progress and doing work and getting feedback from the community. I've been doing this stream for over a year. I've been doing every Sunday since July 16 of last year. So it's pretty exciting that I managed to keep up that. I guess it dawned on me that we're going to be releasing hopefully within the next, I don't know, a few weeks or so. And that my Sunday stream would go away, and that's kind of sad. It's been a nice little chapter in this development. But if you want to support us and you want to know more about Delver, you can go to the website. We have a link to our Steam page. We are currently on sale for $7.99. When we release the 1.0 version, we will be increasing the price from $7.99 to $9.99, and this represents 4 years of, or like 4.5 years of additional dev work, plus 15 updates. So I think the $2 price jump is certainly worth it. Also, we have a Humble widget, if that is something that you'd rather go that route. You also get a Steam key. I mentioned the Steam key twice here because the Steam build is the most up-to-date build. Once we do release the final version, or the 1.0 version, we still may do updates in the future, but not at the scale that we have in the past. But once we do release the 1.0 version, we will then begin to look at our other platforms, such as Humble, iOS, and Android, and make sure that those are up to speed. Cool. Let me see. So yeah, let's just take a look at what Chad and I have been up to this past week, and then we'll get started on working. Okay, let's go to the command prompt. Also, yeah, like I said, I don't have my cheat sheet up either, so let me pull it up here. I just have a simple little gist that basically has my little script, and it's not a hard script, or like not a very prescriptive script. It's just an outline. I tend to work better off of outlines. Cool. So this is just a git log. We're doing one line since a week ago, and then some pretty printing to make it easier to kind of parse what's happening there on your side of things. Cool. And it's been a busy week. So so fixing some world rendering stuff, fixing the mesh shadow positions, the screen background levels have a fog color, updating dungeon gen info, making doors break easier. That's probably a good move, Chad. It used to be that you had to really wail on doors a lot to make them break, and now you can smash them a little bit easier, which is nice. He's rebalanced the mages to be more of a glass cannon. If you're not familiar with what that term means, a glass cannon kind of refers to something that can do a lot of damage, but cannot take a lot of damage. So I think that probably means that the mages probably have a lot less health and probably still do the same amount of damage, because mages have always been kind of a very lethal enemy. And I like that. I think it's interesting. It definitely makes you keep your eye out for them. But I think making them go down a little bit easier also probably feels correct or better. The correctness is another word I really like, I guess. I did a spell and scroll of invisibility. That's a new thing. Player's held item is transparent when the player is invisible now. It's cool. adding a try intersection mesh, or try intersection to match intersection 1. Detail pass on intersection 3. So a lot of these updates are going to be, yeah, so me updating halls. A lot of just us still going through the rooms and pulling up the quality bar to the rest of the areas in Delver. So better VFX when invisible, updating dungeon intersections. It's me, again, updating lots of room stuff. Static meshes draw after the world now. That's interesting. I'm curious what, undoing previous change. Sad face. So something, yeah, something must have happened. Salvaging halls 7. Yeah, so part of our work when we were bringing the old rooms up to the new quality bar was kind of really taking a good hard look at the old tiles or the old rooms for the dungeon and kind of assessing, should we keep them around or should we just scrap them? And I did my best to try to keep as many around as I could, because I think there were, at least in every tile, there's an interesting idea. And now, some of the tiles you may not be able to recognize anymore, but I've tried to preserve that idea. For example, one of the rooms I changed was it was really just a long stairway up to a hall and then a long stairway down. And that wasn't particularly interesting, but what I changed that to was a series of floors. There are just a few steps up to each floor. Up to a long hall, and then a series of floors down, and then like these floors or these rooms are interconnected. So I think that makes it a little bit more interesting. Again, more updating halls 11. More dungeon tiles. Added a secret thing. That's cool. Started to update the dungeon room generator to match our rooms. That's very cool. So the dungeon room generator is a system where the computer will generate rooms. And Chad is trying to get it to match our style, which is really cool. But it's also going to be really challenging to make it look and feel like our style. Fixing arrow draw scale. Thank you, Chad. It's always nice to have the arrows drawing at the correct scale. Me updating that. Updating some tiles. Updating more rooms. We use the word room and tiles interchangeably, but it gets a little confusing because the rooms are 17 by 17 tiles. So if we say the tiles are 17 by 17 tiles, it starts getting very like murky as to what we're talking about. So I typically try to use the term room for a dungeon room and tile for a individual tile within a room, even though we do treat the rooms like tiles at the larger scale. Again, yeah, so this is me just more work on intersections, upping the light, detail work on section 13. Another pass, the light coronas. So Chad is tweaking the light coronas. So what the light coronas are is it's a billboard that we put around the light sources to kind of make it look like there's some sort of like either atmospheric or volumetric lighting thing going on. Adding a new dungeon tile, tweaked a few others, reducing size of corona sprites. See, I think I'd rather have the corona sprite big so we don't really draw too much attention to it. So let me where is it? Reducing size of corona light sprite. So let me just copy this, and then I'll take a look at that. More corona tweaking. Fixing light halo on particles. Coronas get special shader. Fog shader animates a bit. Fog opacity tied into wind gusts like grass position. That's cool. Lots of fog and shader tweaking here. A Gen input decorator can place water tiles now. That's cool. Mouse scroll so it takes into account hotbar size. Yeah, so it used to be that our the hotbar for the player was a fixed size, and now it's a variable size. So when we made the change to make it a variable size, you could sometimes accidentally scroll into your backpack, which is not what we want. Juicing explosions, that's cool. So yeah, so corona shader fades out on far clip plane, that's cool. Detail work on intersections. More light corona work, new dungeon tile. So just a lot of just shader and a lot of room updates. Yeah, Chad has been super busy, which is really cool to see. Some of these look similar, so I'm curious if it was a merge of a branch and I'm just getting some duplicate some duplicate histories here. Not quite sure. Interesting. Or did it execute again? Let me say clear. Juicing explosions, yeah. Oh. Don't want to do the entire git log. One line since equals a week ago. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so now I guess, let me think. So we're getting close to the end. I guess I want to make sure that I'm organized. So maybe it's spreadsheet time, which is not terribly sexy, but I think if we had a spreadsheet just to kind of make sure that Chad and I are on the same page as far as all this room work, and to make sure that things are kind of being, our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Hey, Slayer Darth, thanks for popping in, man. How are you? Or gal, or whatever pronoun you prefer. I don't mean to engender you without knowing who you are. Okay, I guess let's just make a spreadsheet. Woo! Because I mean, it really is important to I guess to track what we have and have not covered. Regex time. No regexes. Sorry. So I guess let's just do name. And then let's do. Let me think. Let's go to our asset directory, cd dungeoneer assets generator dungeon. How do I want to list all the cool list. Okay, so I want to do a tree/f dot. There we go. And let's do that, and let's cat that to a file. So how about c:/users Joshua desktop, and we'll call this dungeon rooms.txt. Okay, and I guess let's pop up in our my friend and yours Sublime text, and let's open that file up. So dungeon rooms, cool. And what I really want is I just want a list of all the rooms. So I think I can do something like Alt F3 is what I want. There we go. That's all of those. But I want to copy that. Just replace. Basically, I'm just going to treat these names of these rooms as just the directory and the name of the room. Just trying to keep it simple. Okay. Here, and this one needs to be ends. fine. This one needs to be halls. It needs to be intersections. Fine. This one needs to be starts. We pop over to chat. Cool. Yeah, there is something nice about doing front-end development. Okay, and some odd reason these don't have, okay. I think, can I just do a selection here, like with Alt, with Control? How about Control-Shift-L, and then paste, there we go. Just do a multi-line edit and call it good. There we are. Okay, these should be all the rooms I need to check. So I have 94 rooms to check. Hey Chad. I'm making a spreadsheet so we can be organized. I'll call this Delver rooms, and then the sheet one will be dungeon. I don't know if they can be exciting, I guess. I mean, this is just make sure that we cover all of our corners. Okay, so I guess the first thing I'm really worried about is, have we actually even just touched it? Like, so I'll make this one called refreshed. So that means, have we touched it since it was created 4 years ago? Hopefully that is, and I guess I'll just set these all to no. Or true false. I guess we're programmers, so true false makes more sense. Okay, and then yeah, unfortunately this isn't like fortunately or unfortunately, I'm trying to like show what it's really like to do the development stuff. And what else do we care about, Chad? What are some other properties? Also, the thing I guess I'm worried about is, let's call this properly lit, because some of our old tiles are super dark. So I just want to do a pass on that. What else? How about let's do a insert a row above, and let's make something like this, and then I want to merge cells, merge all, and call this like features, and then something like trims and decorations, and what else? These are just things I'm trying to think of that are just like detail things. They don't necessarily have to have them, but it might be nice. It might be nice to have them. So trims, decorations. Oh yeah, features, enemies, loot. Those are all nice things to have. I think typically they have them. And I don't know if this should be a binary or if this should just be a count thing. I want to align this text. How do I? There we go. There we go. Cool. Detailed or interesting? Yeah. Yeah, I could throw that in. So let's put in a let's just do a insert one right, and let's say interesting. And I guess we can just score ourselves on this, Chad. Let's just use a like a interesting like 1 to 5, and this can just be self-reported. I think that's fine. And I think what's important here is we don't want all 5-star rooms, so we do want some variety here, and I think that's okay. Cool. So let me just start. Let me pull this off to the side and share it with Chad. I think I don't want to out his email address. Send. Cool. There we go. And then yeah, let me just kind of I guess snap this. I guess behind my head is fine, and then I'll start. I'll fire up the editor and just start kind of going through these rooms and making sure that we've touched them and try to rate them. Oh, completed is such a completed is hard. I would rather I'd rather look at the spreadsheet and say if they've not been refreshed, that's a no-go, right? So that is definitely a bad thing. Properly lit is a little bit more nebulous. So refresh just means refresh means have we touched this in the past 5 years? Some of these tiles are the original tiles that were drawn out by, in bitmap. So refresh just means have they kind of been brought up. Properly lit just means some of our rooms are just so dark. So trying to give better lighting is important. Interesting again is just a subjective thing. These are just maybe just kind of counts. Maybe I don't know. Just ballpark it. We don't have to be super close. I don't want to make this too onerous of it's already going to be onerous of a task. Hey, Hawaii Beach. How are you, sir? Okay, run. And can I just snap this over here? Oh, our scaling on our icons is a little borked. That's okay. Cool. So file open. Oh my goodness. Generator dungeon beginnings 1 load. Okay. So this has been refreshed, so that's true. Is it properly lit? L. It's kind of dark, but that's probably okay. Like you can easily see from here to the other torch, and I think the darkness here adds variety, so that's probably okay. So I'll just say that it is properly lit. True. Interesting. Scale of 1 to 5. That's the hard one. So it does have trims. It has roughly, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 pieces of trim. Decorations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pieces of decorations maybe. Enemies 0 and loot 1. Thanks. So I guess this kind of a story behind my haircut. I usually like to keep it short, and I've been trying to go to the local barber here, but I made an appointment to go get a haircut like a month ago, and I showed up and the barbershop was closed. So I called the barber. I got them on their cell phone, and they apologized. They said they had something come up, and I said fine. So I made another appointment for the following week. And the exact same thing happened. I was sitting outside the barber shop for 15 minutes to half an hour, and they never showed up, and the shop was closed. So I found a different barber in a neighboring town that I'm very happy with. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to get that taken care of more frequently. Cool. 4/7. 4 out of 7. What is 4 out of 7? Interesting. How interesting would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 5? Like a 3? I guess this room's going to be kind of the baseline. Maybe a 3? Maybe? I'm not using Delver Unlimited. I'm using the Delver that we are developing. File open 2.bin load. Okay. Wow. I'll say this one off the bat is certainly more interesting. It has way more going on here. So let me say it's interesting, like 4, maybe 5. It is refreshed. That is true. Is it properly lit? Oh, it is awfully dark. Let me see. Yeah, that's probably too dark. I probably want to call out this entrance here, but maybe I can just put a torch down on the inside of this. Place marker torch. What does that look like when you start the game? I can manually place a torch. Let's try that. So let's remove this marker. Then let's try placing a torch somewhere in here. Place entity lights torch. Let's pull that up. And then let's just kind of see if I can slide it over here. Maybe kind of snap it up here. Maybe that seems like a reasonable place for it. Even though like you have to get a ladder to like change it out, but all these torches are magical anyways, right? So I'm not going to worry too much about that. Yeah, that's too high. If I lowered it, would it look any better? And if it doesn't, I need to move it somewhere else. I think that's too high. I'm just gonna just kind of slam it in the front of this this door here. I think that'll be fine. Let's just kind of do it, just stick it right there. That's probably a fine place for it to live. Just get it selected. There we go. Nice. Cool. Let me save that and then properly lit true. Trims, oh my goodness. Hey Axial, how are you? What icon? I'm not aware. Editor number 14. Yeah, I am somehow out of this conversation, folks. I don't know what you're talking about. Which icon? Oh, the icon for the application. Yeah. That may change. File save. Okay, so true. Trims, just estimate there. Wow, there's lots of trims. I guess 8, 10 pieces of trim, and then decorations, lots. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 11, 12-ish, a dozen or so. No enemies, and a single piece of loot. Okay, cool. File, open. Update 14. I'm trying to think. That was that the sewer update or the temple update? I can't remember. We just refer to the updates by name rather than number usually. Okay, again, this one is also really heavily detailed. Let's say it's interesting of 4. 4. It is refreshed. That is true. Again, it is not properly lit right now, so let me see if I can take a peek at that. It's just so dark. Maybe that's okay. Maybe leaving this one dark is okay, so we have some variety. So I can maybe live with that. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So trim pieces, maybe 9. Decorations, a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I would say 20. Thereabouts. No enemies. No enemies and a single piece of loot, maybe. That seems about right. Okay, file open. 3 load. Okay, so this one I don't think is as interesting, so I'm gonna mark this down as a 3, but that's okay. Again, having variety in these categories is good. We don't want to have everything uniformly like detailed, but we don't want to think like we want to have like a min bar for detail, I think. Okay, so it has been refreshed. That's true. It is properly lit. It's looking like this one's gonna be dark. Yeah, let's go ahead and add another torch in here somewhere. Also, there's no arch on this. Let me throw that arch doorway on. Well, I don't necessarily want arch doorways on everything per se, but maybe so. Well, let's just put it here. So entity door dungeon sets door arch. There we go. Let's turn it. And maybe for some variety's sake, I can just leave this one tall. It is nice that I built this extra tall so we can slam it into the floor. Looks like Chad. Looks like you added the breakable pots to the decor pile, which I think is a good move. Cool. There we go. And then also I can do something like this where I can say right click, place entity, dungeon sets, and there should be a wood post, and I can just maybe slam that up here as a little detail thing. Or does that look out of place? I don't know. Let me delete it. I don't like it. But I will maybe put a torch off to the side over here. So let's just gonna manually place one. So place entity, lights, torch, and Z, and then we're gonna kind of grab it and just kind of stick it right in there. Yeah, I think that looks all right. We still have this dark side of the room and this kind of this light side of the room. I think that works out well. Again, you don't want drugstore lighting. You don't want it to be completely flat. You still want pools of dark and pools of light, but you just don't want, like, you want a balance, right? Okay, so this is properly lit. True. Let me save this real quick before I forget. So Axie Cole says, just trying to parse what's going on based on what I'm doing. I'm guessing we are filling out the info starting rooms on documentation purposes. So, oh, sorry, Dakota, give me a second. Desktop, subbot. There we go. All right, Dakota, you're up and running. Yeah, so if you do subscribe to me, you get access to the subscriber bot, which I built myself and which Dakota is trying to use, which allows subscribers to create their own commands. So they should work now. Thank you, yeah. Again, trying to maintain a low poly style, trying to maintain consistent pixel-texel ratio or texel ratios. Just, yeah, trying to keep it authentic to the feel. But also, there are new things we're doing also. Yeah, so what I'm doing is the big update we're doing now is going to be the 1.0 update. It is going to be the last big update we do. It may be the last update forever, or we might do smaller updates. We probably will do smaller updates just for like support and stuff issues, but this is the last big update we've planned. So what we're doing is we're going through all the original area was the dungeon, and we're going through all the rooms in the dungeon, and we are giving them a facelift. We are making sure that they match the quality bar set by the rest of the game, because some of these rooms haven't been changed in 4 years, and they're pretty spare and boring. So we are upgrading them. But the trick is we have 94 rooms, 94 rooms to touch and to upgrade and to place all the props in and decorate and add markers for. And doing that willy-nilly is okay, but like I'm trying to build out a spreadsheet so Chad and I can both look at this and kind of understand what needs to be done. And we can also look at from like a meta level and say maybe like we need to add more loot or not. That's debatable, but this is just to make sure that everything has been updated. Cool. You can just shout stuff out in chat when I ask questions. That'd be fine. I got it started about an hour early today, so I'll probably do this until noon, and then I'll switch over to maybe making some, or hopefully I can just get through this Maybe. I'd have to do like a room in less than a minute, which I'm not doing. So trims, roughly 6. And decorations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 8-ish, 9-ish, let's say 10, just round up to the nearest, makes it easy. No enemies, and looks like 1 piece of loot. That's fine. File, save, file, open. Let's go to beginnings 4, load. Yeah, this one is, again, on the interest level, maybe this is a 4, maybe a 5, maybe a 5. It's hard, it's very subjective. I'll say 4. But this has been touched. Is this properly lit? Well, it might be. Yeah, I think it is. Let's just take a peek. Yeah, this has plenty of lighting. You can kind of you can see where you're going. So properly lit is a true. Interesting. I think I said it was a 4. 4. Trims. Again, trim pieces. I'll count. I'm counting mostly just the because I got the vertical and horizontal ones. So this is like 5. 5 is 5. Decorations are just like pots and other doodads in crates and stuff. So maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Let's round up to 10. Enemies 0 and pieces of loot 1. It looks like. Cool. I don't think I didn't make any changes to this. We'll just keep going. Yeah, I'm excited for 1 to drop, but I'm also terrified because I think that people's expectations are beyond what we are capable of delivering. I think that's my experience with early access has been that unless you clearly explicitly state what you're going to do, people just expect you're going to do what they have in their brain, and that's just not what we're doing. So I think we had to learn some hard lessons on the community management aspect of this project. Okay, so is it refreshed? True. True. Is it properly lit? I think so. Maybe I could add maybe another piece of light might not be bad. I don't know. Yeah, there's light up there for that, which is cool. So yeah, it is properly, nope, don't do that. It is properly lit, true. Interesting. Yeah, no, I think this is interesting. Let's say this is a 4 out of 5. We got this cool feature here. We have this window up there. Make it a 4. Trims 0, which is okay. Again, we don't necessarily want uniformity. Decorations, there's quite a few decorations here. We have this ledge and the pots, so 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Enemies 0 and a single piece of loot, it looks like. Okay, file, open. 6T, load. Okay, I'd say this is probably, I don't know, like it's quasi-interesting, kind of. I mean, yeah, maybe a 3, but that's okay. It has been touched, which is true. It's properly lit. That's a true. Trims a lot. 1, 2, 4, 8. 8 and decorations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. Enemies 0 and loot 0. This is the first time I think I ran into a start room that doesn't have loot in it, which is, oh, there's a piece of loot. Excuse me. Cool. Push to change to Hall 7 to fix the exits. Cool, Chad. I pushed some stuff too then. Nice. All right, let's keep going. Let's try to get through as many of these we can in the next 15 or so minutes. Yeah, I mean, I've made it my full-time job now, but I mean, it's like making it my full-time job for like the last month or two of of a multi-year project really isn't going to greatly impact the project, right? Like I would have had to have done it full time for the length of the project to really have a big outbearing. But yeah, it's hard, but you can't. But we are still compared against full-time projects, right? So yeah, it's hard. It's really, really hard. We're doing the best with what resources and time we have, and I'm proud of it. Even if it doesn't do well, that's okay. 8 file open, 8.bin load. Woo! Okay, this one is, I'd say this is probably like maybe a 5, because we have multiple rooms behind doors. We have these cool hanging features. Maybe a 4. I'm really hesitant to give things out 5s. That just seems, maybe I'm just being really picky, but everything is a 3 or a 4 now. What would you folks say? What would you rate the interesting level of this room? I'd say it's not lit well enough though. Let me fix that, and you can come back with me on the interest level. Let's just, I like placing these high torches now for some odd reason. Lights, torch. Okay, maybe here in the corner. Again, maybe this, it's catty corner. We still have a little bit of darkness over here. This is pretty well lit over here on this side. This is probably too far away from the wall though. Let me kind of just snug that up on the wall just a little bit. There we go. Even though all the torches are floating, just having them just with a reasonable distance away from the wall is probably okay. Cool. And I think too, when you walk into, having it roughly at eye level is interesting, even though maybe I'll pull it down a little bit. There we go. Nice. So this one has been touched. This one has been lit. True. Let me file save. Y says a 3. Dakota says a 4. So yeah, so I think the 4s have it. Interesting is a 4. Trims. Looks like it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 maybe. 6 pieces of trim. I'm just counting like pillars and beams and stuff like that as trim. Decorations, lots. It's like 6, 10, maybe 15. Just quickly ballparking it. Don't want to spend a lot of time on this enemy. 0. And pieces of loot. Ooh. Yeah, this has more loot than the others. Cool. File, save, file, open. Now we're on to corners. Load. All right. Yeah. Okay, I think this one, I would rank this one, I guess, as interesting at level 4, because we have this interesting little, like this feature where you can get up in the rafters, which is kind of unique. We haven't done this really before. It has been, so yeah, it has been touched, true. It has been lit, true. 4 trims, quite a few. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces of trim, I suppose. 6 and decoration or decorations. There's a bunch of crates, so 4 crates, 5 ladder, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's just say 15. 15 is a ballpark. It has enemies. It has 3 enemy markers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then the pieces of loot. It looks like it has 1, 2. 2 pieces of loot. Okay. I don't think I changed anything here, so let me just open up the next one. Corners 10. Load. Again, yeah, this one has, I think this is interesting because this is where we're, so I'm trying to think of like blending themes. So this kind of has some of the cave stuff creeping in, which I think works well. I don't want to blend themes from too far away. Like I wouldn't want to blend like the sewers or the temple into this, but having some elements from the next level to come, I think is good foreshadowing. Now this area over here is pretty dark, but maybe that's okay. Maybe I should just have the areas that are kind of dungeony. Maybe have those areas lit. And it's well, there should be a torch there, but we don't spawn torches now if there's no there's no wall, I think. I believe that's the case. So where's a good place over here to stick that torch? I could, real quick, I could just slam in a pillar here. Let's set the lower wall to, how does that look? That looks all right. Meh. Let's just do this grass. Yeah, that stuff. That looks nice. And then I can maybe stick a marker torch. Will that actually work or not? Yeah, that'll work okay. Does it look strange? It's over the water. Should I put it here? Marker torch. Remove marker. And that one is just not spawning? Okay. Remove marker, place entity, light, torch, and then I'll just shimmy this over on the wall. I think that would be all right. Ostensibly, somebody could lean over and maintain that. Whoever maintains the torches in Delver. Okay. Yeah. I think that helps with the overall lighting situation. You can at least see to where you need to go. So this is 10, so it has been refreshed. It is properly lit. Interesting of 4. Is the update delayed? I mean, I thought we were supposed to like ship it at the end of June, so technically yes. We're trying to get this out as soon as we can. I'm just making this list just to make sure that we've touched everything, so that way when we do ship, we're comfortable that everything has been at least upgraded. There are no pieces of trim. There are quite a few that were 1, 2. There's 2 pieces of decoration. Maybe I'll throw in some markers real quick. Just place a decor pile here and there, just to add just a little bit more decor pile, just to bring that up to 4, which I think is probably a little bit better. Decorations 4, and enemies. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies. And I think a single piece of loot. Yeah. Okay. File, save. Corner is 11. So file, open, 11, go. Okay. Yeah, I'd say this one's fairly interesting. It has quite a bit going on. I'll just make it. I'll make it 5. Why not? I'm being too hard. It has been true. It has been touched. Some of those others should have been 5s too, but whatever. Like I'll let it slide. I'll just not worry about it too much. Again, these are subjective things. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces of trim, let's say. Decoration a lot. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 20. Enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 enemies. 4 enemies. Loot. There are 1, 2 pieces of loot. Looks like. I don't think I changed anything here. Is it? Oh, so is it properly lit? I didn't check that. I think so. That looks all right. There's a dark spot here, but that's okay. Let me see. Let me just run through this level real quick. That's all right. Yeah, I think that the lighting's probably fine in here. I mean, again, having dark areas and having lit areas is kind of what we want. I think this room is nicely bright, and then you go down here, again, a nicely bright room. Yeah, cool. So yeah, I will say yes, it is properly lit. Cool. I don't think I made any changes to here, so let's just open up the next one, which should be 12.n. There we go. I don't like, so Tesla Coil suggesting just adding an ambient light source above the water, and I don't like adding lighting without some sort of diegetic or like reason for the lighting to be there. if that makes sense. I just don't like lighting just for the sake of lighting. I want to add torches, or I want to add, we can add crystals or something like that, or the windows to add little bits of lighting. I just don't want to add lighting for lighting's sake. Yeah, so this one, say 12. Has this been touched? Yes, it is refreshed. Is it properly lit? It looks like it. Maybe I want to add, it's okay actually. This is a little dark, but not terribly dark, I don't think. Maybe I'll add a torch on one of these entrances. So maybe this one, not so busy, just to have some variety. So let's add entity light, torch. Let's just kind of shimmy this into position over here. There we go. Yep, let me scoot it over this way. Nice. There we go. Okay, so that's, I think that makes the lighting just a little bit nicer. Again, not perfect, but better. Interesting is a 3. Trims, lots. I'd say 6 pieces of trim. Decorations, there's 2 shelves, a bunch of pots. There's 8. 9, 10, maybe 15. There's lots of decoration going on in this area. Enemies. Let me save this to file save. I think there are 2 enemies in this area, and yeah, and no pieces of loot, which is okay. File save. File open. 13.bin. Load. But like, where does the sunlight come from if this is a dungeon? We have some windows with moonlight coming through with god rays. Take care, Chad. Thanks for popping by. I'll be going probably until 2 o'clock Pacific time, my normal time. I just got started a little bit early is all. Cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm my own worst critic. And also, like, you know, I mean, the success of Delver does, like, it helps, like, support my independent, like creative endeavors, and depending on how well it does, depends on how long I can keep doing these sorts of things. 13-bin, so it has been updated. That's true. Is it properly lit? Maybe. Yeah, looks like there's plenty of lighting in there. So true. Interesting. I'd say this is a 4. Like, we have the chains from the ceiling. We have a nice like central water feature. You can kind of skirt around it. We have like we're using the mud to kind of call out different areas. So yeah, this is a 4. Pieces of trim. I don't think any, which is okay. So 0. And then decorations, lots. We have like a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe 20. There's a lot here. Enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 enemies. Pieces of loot. None. No pieces of loot. Okay, that's all right. Okay, I don't think I changed this, so let's open up the next one. File open. 13 Tango. There we go. Yeah, I really appreciate the support from everybody, from the streamers, from the modders, from the fans. Like, it means the world to me that people are as excited as they are about the thing that we're making. I'd say this is a 5. This has some really cool stuff going on. Like, Chad added these bars you can see through. We have this little hidden room back here. We have a little bit of room over room stuff with this little bridge. We have this muddy area down here that maybe implies there was once water in here. So I'm going to score this one a 5 in terms of interest. Again, this has been updated. Is it properly lit? Yeah, it looks like the crit path is actually pretty well lit, and then we let the other stuff be dark, so you have some interesting stuff in the dark. So true. The number of trims we have, let's say 1, 2, 3, maybe 3, but then we have lots of decorations. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say maybe 8. I don't know. Enemies. Let's take a look. We have an enemy hiding out down there. So 1. And then loot. There's a piece of loot in the Heidi area back there. And I think it's also, no, that's just a decor pile. So one piece of loot. Okay. One. All right. Next file, open. Corners 14 Tango. Load. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Like it does keep me super pumped, and like it's gonna be sad when I don't do my Sunday streams anymore because Delver will be out. But also, like I've been streaming every Sunday for over a year, and I have missed like a year's worth of swim classes for my son, which is bumming, which is kind of sad, you know. Like I would love to be there for that stuff. So I think yeah, for whatever my next project is, I'm definitely going to stream it, but it'll probably be throughout the weekday, unless there's, you know, I don't know. I'm still figuring things out. Yeah. Okay, so this is like either a 4 or a 5, maybe a 5 because we have the cool waterfall feature. We have multi levels. I'll just call it a 5. It has been updated. Let's take a look at the lighting. Lighting needs improvement. So I want to call out like where you like, so place marker, torch. I want to kind of light the crit path so so players know where they need to be going. There we go. Again, I don't want to like over bright it, but I want you to like be able to, yeah. So this lights the crit path nicely. It keeps this in the shadow. Maybe we'll put a torch all the way back here to kind of make you wonder what's back here. Because if you're just wandering completely in the dark, it's not necessarily interesting. But yeah, once you get back here, you can see, oh, there's a torch back here. What's back here? Is there a loot in this area? Yeah, there's a piece of loot there. Also, maybe let's drop a piece of loot here. Marker loot. Where is it? Loot. There we go. Just to kind of reward you for going off the beaten path a little bit. Yeah, so there'll be just a piece of loot tucked in there. Okay, so let's start counting stuff. So this is number 14 Tango. So I fixed the lighting. Very interesting. Trims like a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. So maybe 12. I don't know. Decorations. 1, 2, 3. 5. Maybe 8. Enemies. I think there are several enemies here. 1, 2 enemies. Are there more enemies? Looks like 2 enemies. 2. And loot. There are now 2 pieces of loot. So let me save this. Save. Cool. Woo! Let's keep it going. Hey, Mark Solly. Hey, Smith. Thank you for stopping by, folks. Yeah, no, thank you for understanding. Like this is how I do support my family, but I also want to be able to spend time with my family. You know, it's a hard balancing act. I'm sure folks with jobs totally understand that. You know, I mean, everybody who has a job understands like that work-life balance. It's just hard that when you work for yourself, you just want to work like a maniac sometimes. So this is really interesting. This is like a prison kind of thing that Chad created, which I dig. It has been touched. Let's check out the light situation in here. Yeah, I think it's somewhat well lit. So this is a main entrance, I think. So let me add a torch here, maybe on this half wall torch, because I want to make sure again the crit path is lit so folks can find their way through. I think you go here and then you go here. There we go. And back here. Is that right? So this is an exit right here, just not super well called out. So let me just move the torch to the other side here. Maybe that'll help kind of better make that seem like that's where you're supposed to be going. Yeah. But yeah, this has all sorts of like little bits of storytelling and stuff with like, why is this bar broken out and why are there so many bones in this one particular prison cell, you know? Yeah, so true. I think the lighting, this is a corner, so yeah, so the lighting is now improved. Maybe back here, I'm just going to place maybe a candle, just to add just a little bit of lighting, just to kind of help improve that too. So entity, letter, candle, and then I'm gonna kind of grab it. Where are you, candle? Ah. Put that back there, and then just kind of maybe put this on the bench. Fire up on the Z. There we go. And then just kind of up, grab it. Let me change my camera position so I can better kind of pick this. Go outside the level. Yeah, sometimes when you have a lot of meshes in this or objects in the scene, it becomes hard to pick. Pick your objects. There we go. That should be close enough. There we go. So now when we hit play, oh, the candle falls through the bench. What? Is this not solid? It is. Is it too low? Like, there we go. So yeah, that's okay if it tumbles through the air a little bit. By the time you get here, it will be settling on the bench. So yeah, so let's call that properly lit. Let me save my change, even though it's a tiny one. File, save. Just adding a little bit of light back there helps. Okay, so this is number 2. So two, properly lit, true. Trims. Looks like there are quite a few of these rafter features, so I'm gonna count those. So it looks like there's 6. Decorations. Lots. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Maybe 30, I'm gonna guess. 30 pieces of decor. Enemies. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 enemies. This is one of the more enemy dense areas, which is cool. Again, variety is what we're looking for. And loot. How many pieces of loot? 1? 1 piece of loot. Okay. 2 pieces of loot. There we go. 2. Cool. Hey, Chris, how are you, sir? I haven't seen you around in a while. How is life? File, save, file, open. Corners 3. Maybe I'll finish up the corners and then I don't know, it's hard to say because I want to make sure I've gone through this before I actually start working on stuff. It's kind of hard to find. I think the tri-intersections are where I've been, or the intersections have been working most, so I'll try jumping there. Cool. So again, I'll say this is like a 5 on the terms of interest. It has definitely been touched. Let's take a look at the lighting situation. So looks like the crit path is mostly lit. Let's add a torch here and remove this one, because if you notice, it's kind of blowing out the lighting scenario. So like the torches have a yellow hue to them, but if they get too close, like they will turn the lighting white, which is not necessarily desirable. Also, maybe I can slide this guy down here, place marker torch, and then remove this one. Just spread them out just a little bit to maybe better light. And again, same thing here. So maybe add a marker torch here, then remove this one, just to kind of have a better flow of the lighting. Cool. There we go. Yeah. I think that works all right. Let me save my changes. So updated the lighting. Very interesting because it also has it has multiple levels. It has like some of these breakable wall features. It has like a little bit of storytelling with like the beds and all sorts of stuff. This little area back here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, no, like I understand. Like if I could sleep in, Chris, I most certainly would. Trims. That looks like lots. He added these really cool like rafter pieces in here, so I'll count those. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe, yeah, I'll just say 4 pieces of trim, and then decorations lots, man. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Man, maybe 25. Just ballparking it. It doesn't have to be super precise because that's not what we're really going for. We're just trying to get a feel for what the levels look like. Enemy count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is our most highest enemy density of all the rooms so far. And pieces of loot: 1, 2. Looks like 2 pieces of loot. Cool. Did I make? Yeah, I made some changes here. So let me say that because I just kind of tweaked some torch position to better light the areas. So let's file open corners number 4. We're getting there, folks. Only 5 more to go after this. Yeah, this one is really cool. This is an area that Chad has exposed to the sky, so it has been touched. It is interesting, yes. I think we should probably add a skybox for this. I need to figure out. Yeah, because if it's pitch black, I need to add a skybox. Let me just make a note. Maybe just make a note in the spreadsheet. We'll just add another column all the way over here to the right. Notes. Make sure done. It won't show up in the actual editor, but I think I need to verify that is in fact the case, that this area does have a skybox. So you're seeing the night sky that you start off at the camp. Because this is kind of implying that like the dungeon in this area has collapsed and you can see out. So that's cool. Let me check out the lighting situation. The outdoor lighting does help a lot. Maybe I'll just add a torch in this area, just so, or how does that work? Maybe it. Yeah, so you have this outdoor area to navigate, which is cool. How do you actually get to here? Is it really kind of this roundabout little? It is, yeah. It's a very roundabout area, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm just going to throw in a ladder just so you can shortcut it, but if you do, you're going to miss out on a lot of cool stuff. Place entity, basic ladder, then turn it, and then slam it here. Then maybe pull it up a little bit, kind of just right there. So you can, if you want. So I'm trying to just, so you can get through here if you've already been through here, so you don't have to backtrack a whole long ways. But again, by taking this shortcut, you're missing out really. Marker, torch. Okay, that's cool. And maybe kind of call this out as maybe the crit path. Then, if the player is intended to go around this way, I'm just gonna throw some torches, kind of along where they would be looking. Just to kind of help lead them through the space, so it's less confusing. So play. We have a torch. You can see over there, there's a torch. I'm going to move it to this wall here so you can actually see it. I like to make it sure that you have line of sight from torch to torch, just so you can kind of visually navigate your way through the area. So here, torch. You're going to go to this torch. Turn the corner, you see another torch. And then, yeah, you come out here, then you got this torch over here. So you can kind of, so it just helps lead you through the area. And of course, there are secret areas off the beaten path that you're going to have to look to find, but that's okay. We want stuff like that. Okay, so let's improve the lighting situation. Let's save it. File save. Ned Bolter, am I aware of the Ludum Dare? Or am I aware of the Ludum Dare? I don't know. I think it's going on. Unfortunately, we are in the last. We are pushing so hard to get Delver done. Like, I can't really participate in any of those things. I would love to do Ludum Dare. I would have loved to have done like the Quake Map Jam number 999. But finishing Delver is priority, and that's what I spend the majority of my time on. I still do my lunch break roguelike, but that's just taking my lunch break and making a little project over that. Yeah, Ludum Dare is a 48-hour game making competition that happens a couple times a year. It's pretty cool. So yeah, very interesting. Trims. 1, 2, 4 trims. 4 trims. This has lots of decorations. Like there's 1, 2, 3, or maybe maybe a dozen enemies. 1, 2, 3 enemies. Okay, that seems like a good amount. I didn't even count the trees, so maybe let's make this 20 because there's a lot going on in this level. 3 enemies. Oh, Joshua. 3 enemies and loot. 1, 2, 3. No, just 2. Just 2 pieces of loot. 2. Yeah, so I did shift some of the torches around here, so let's just save that. So file, save. Okay, corners 5. 5, 5, 5. Load. Ooh, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, I would say this is either a 4 or a 5, but let's make it 4. 4. Okay, it has been updated. True. Is it properly lit? That's the next big question. L. Whoa, no, it is super dark. So let's take a look at fixing. So we have the little moonlight feature there. But I want to make sure that you can find, like, kind of like navigate like visually by torches. So we need to put something way down here, maybe just I want to put it like maybe down here. I don't want it to kind of like I don't want it to blow out the moonlight, but I want you to be able to understand, like, yeah. So there, yeah. And then maybe you get the nice orange blue contrast too, which is nice. Or is it? I don't think that's killing it. Hopefully. Maybe if I put it around the corners a little bit further, place marker, torch, remove marker, because the orange goes a long ways with that blue in there. Yeah, so maybe that's a little bit nicer. Stab, stab, stab. Actually, I didn't update. Yeah, this is. I forgot to update my stream description. Excuse me. So let me just copy this and paste. Sometimes it would be nice to have a producer update information. There we go. Cool. Oh, cool, Ned Bolter. Yeah. Yeah. That's. So if you're competing in Ludum Dare, what are you doing watching me? You don't have time for that. Cool. So trying to improve the lighting situation. Then maybe just another torch down. Maybe down here. Yeah. Sorry, and this is side content, so it's okay to have it like that. Yeah. So let me just file, save. Okay, and then this has a pretty high level of detail. Yeah, so trims like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just say 10. Round up. Decorations, lots. There's like 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 25. Enemies. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, 3. Loot. 1. 1 piece of loot, looks like. 2. There's 1 on the crit path. 2. Cool. I think. There we go. File, save. Since I did update the torches just a little bit. Okay. And it is, yeah, this is the lighting is updated. Okay, cool. Corner 6. File open. Corners number 6. Load. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Well, I'll say it's a 3 because it is just a big long L with a couple of offshoot rooms. It has been updated. What about the lighting situation over here? Yeah, the crit path is pretty well lit. That's good. I'm not gonna mess with that too much. Trims, there's 2. And then decorations, 3, 6, 9, 10 and 11, maybe 15. Um, um, Licking on Kaka Logs says, could you please design a web layout for my site? I'll pay you nicely. Um, web layout is something I can do, but I'm not really passionate about, so I don't know if I'm the guy to be looking for it. Or I'm the guy. I don't think I'm your guy. Um, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're trolling me or not, because I think you're describing something that's phallic in nature. Enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4. And loot. How many pieces of loot do we have? There's one back there. And that's it. Okay, cool. Single piece of loot. All right. File, save, file. Did I change anything? No, I don't think I did. Does it actually save over that? Let me double check my corners5.bin. I don't think I changed this. Did I? Let me just do a git checkout corners 5.bin. Then let me reopen that and see what it looks like. File open. 5 load. That was. Oh, that was the wrong one to undo, Joshua. Yeah, so I put a torch here, file, marker, torch, and I put a marker on the corner here, file, marker, torch. And I think that's all I did. Yeah. Let's just call a little bit. Yeah, so let me file, save, file, open. I think 6 was the one I wanted to make changes to. Load. Yeah. Yeah, let's fix that real quick. Git checkout 6.bin. And then let's open that one up. Luckily I hadn't made significant changes, so that was pretty easy to redo. Load. Yeah, I don't think I made any changes to this at all. Yeah, like if I'm not passionate about something, my work isn't going to be super great. Like I've learned that about myself. Like if I'm not into what I'm working on, it's just going to be just bleh. And I want to do stuff I'm excited about, and I want to do great work. So I guess I can be picky, you know. File open, and you wouldn't want just substandard work. Find somebody who lives and breathes for that stuff. Okay. This has some stuff going on. It has a water feature, it has a cave feature. It has, I'll make it a 4. It seems pretty interesting. It has been updated. Let's check out the lighting. The lighting looks good. Okay, trim pieces, looks like a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 trim pieces. I don't even know if that's interesting or not. Maybe I'm just wasting my time with that stat. Decorations. I could just smash those together. So there's like 7 pots there, plus a chain, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just say a dozen. Dozen, and enemies. 1, 2, 3? 3 enemies? 4 enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies. Wow, that's pretty dense for as big as the room is. And loot. 1 piece of loot, looks like. 2 pieces of loot. 2 pieces of loot. Chris says, RuPaul will be designing my new site. I think you're just trolling. No thanks. Chris is saying, hey Josh, I'm not sure if you're done making new rooms, but I was wondering if you want to make a Balrog bridge with a big drop. That might be interesting. I think Chad has added a way for you to drop down in between levels. Right now, I'm focusing on just upgrading all the levels we have because we have 94 of them. If I find a room that needs some love, maybe that'll be a place to work that in. Because I think the current way Chad has it hooked up is we generate the dungeon, and then we have a way of once a dungeon's been generated, we can further manipulate that. And in some ways, we add pits to levels below, and in some ways, we add like big underground lakes. So maybe that's a good use case for that. There we go. There we go. Yeah, coffee. Coffee. So this is corner 7. Am I finished with corner 7? I think I am. Okay, file. I didn't change anything. I think open number 8, and we're almost there. Yeah, this one has. I'd say it's a 3. Like there's really not a lot going on here. This is 8, so it has been touched, and it's a 3. What does a light look like? Light looks very spare, super spare. So let's fix that. I can just add let's just place a torch marker here. And then maybe one here. There we go. Then maybe one here. That's good. Maybe I should put some. I want to put some wood beams in here just because that's kind of a design language we've been using and building up. So maybe because this is broken, maybe like we have these wood beams holding this thing up. So let me go to dungeon sets and place in a wood beam vertical, and then I can kind of just position this where I want it to be. So like that, and then kind of and just imply that this thing is kind of what's holding this I guess this ceiling feature up. There we go. And then I can kind of copy and paste this around. As needed. And maybe not put it in the back there. Maybe 3 is okay. Plate. Yeah, that looks all right. Again, it adds. Again, it's nice just to have these things to hide behind. So if mages are in here, you're not like hosed. Like you have these kind of things you can navigate through to make the space more interesting. So I think that's cool. Yeah, I think that helps a little bit. So let's go File, Save. It's still pretty dark though, right? Like this area is scarily dark. Maybe I'll just put a torch back here to kind of maybe backlight that stuff. So that stuff still should be dark, but we get that. So they get that nice like, so it's like backlit. So we get this kind of dark feature here, which is cool. At least coming in from one direction. If you're coming in from the other direction, it's still pretty darn dark. But I mean, yeah. So from one way, it does look a little bit more interesting. There we go. Yeah. So let's look at. Let's say the lighting is okay. I can live with it. Let me save it real quick. File, save. Yeah, the next, Chris is asking, is the next update 1.0? The next update is 1.0. It represents the last big update we plan on doing. We may do small updates. We will definitely do support updates, but this is the last big update that we're doing. So there are 3 pieces of trim in here now. And decorations, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 decor piles, so 4. And enemies, there are 3 enemies and 2 pieces of blue. File, save. And then corners 9, the last corner. Oh my goodness, file, open. Yeah, this process takes a lot longer than like you think it would. So corners 9 load. Again, this is probably let's say this is a 4. We have that cool library feature over there, so let's rate it a 4 in terms of interest. Corners 9.bin, so it has been touched. How's the lighting situation? Yeah, it's pretty well lit. Let's do that. Can I do conditional formatting? Yeah, we can. So something like this, and then format, conditional formatting, cell or text contains true. Add another rule. Text contains false, and then make that red. Okay, cool. So this maybe helps me better visually parse like what we've gone through. Yeah. Yay, spreadsheets. And again, these are only the real. Maybe I should revisit beginnings to Bravo. Let me just take a peek at that. I think corners 9 is a 4 on the interest level. The trims, there are no trims. That's okay. Decorations, lots. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 20 some odd. Enemies, I think there's just a couple. Let's just take a peek. 3 enemies. And loot. There's one piece of loot. All right, 1. Okay. So let's take yeah, no, it's super, like, it represents like a 5-year chapter of my life coming to a close, which is kind of scary, you know. Like, Delver has always been there, and in some ways it probably always will be there. But yeah, like it's coming to an end, and I'm really concerned about how the reception will go, because that kind of like that really determines a lot of my ability to keep doing this sort of thing. Okay, so I think that's fine. Yeah, having that backlit entryway it actually would be kind of cool. So let's just save that. File, save, and then let's go ahead and commit our changes, and let's change this to true. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, let's go to command prompt. Updating tiles and spread. Get poll. Push. Cool. Looks like Chad was doing a little bit of work too. Nice. Yeah. So Chris is saying, are you thinking of any marketing deals on the release to get out there a bit more? We really ought to market, and I don't know what our plan is. I definitely need to have a conversation. Maybe Chad has a plan for it, but I need to talk to him to make sure that we're on the same page. Okay, so I'm gonna jump down here to intersections because that's the piece we've been mostly working on to get finished, because there have been unfinished intersection pieces. So I'm going to jump here. I think here there's more opportunity for level designy stuff. Okay, this one's been touched. Okay, so intersections 1, true. Let's see what the light looks like in here. Dark. Yeah, let me just make sure that at least mark our torch that the areas that are exits have lights. Yeah. I'm kind of loath to put actual torches that close to the entrance, because there potentially could be like another torch right there. So try to keep it just a few spaces away from the end, I think. I'm worried this might be a confusing tile, but maybe having one of those every so often is okay. And again, trying to have lights along the main path I think will help. So true. Oh, how do I make, I think I can make this sticky somehow. How do I make this tools, format, how do I, Google spreadsheet, make rows always visible. At the top, click view freeze. View freeze. 2 rows. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Cool. There we go. Interesting. I'd say this is like maybe a 4. Trims. Do I count the door pieces as trims? I haven't been, but maybe so. If so, there's like 9, 10 pieces. 1, 2, 3, maybe a dozen. Decorations. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's some windows in it, which is pretty cool. So 4. 4 pieces of decoration. Enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces. And loot. 1, 2, 3. 3 looks right. Okay, next. Thanks, Tesla Coil, for that for the view freeze help there. So I'm thinking that Delver has a similar pull to games like Dusk or Strafe, has a lot of marketing. Yeah. I will probably talk to some of those folks. I definitely am. I know the Strafe guys pretty well. I also know a few folks who do marketing for independent games, so I'll reach out to them as well. But I want to, I want to touch base with Chad to see what our strategy is. Can't wait. Mark Salai says, "Can't wait for the official version." Remember to update the screenshots and videos of the store page. Yeah, that is a definite true thing to do. It's going to be a lot of work, but we got to get it done. Cool. Let's move on to the next thing I need to take a look at. File, open, intersections 10, load. Ooh, yeah, this one's cool. I hope this stuff works right, because I think I seem to remember, like, Chad, if you're listening, there was some issues with groups appearing at weird locations sometimes. But yeah, I think this is. So basically, these bridges have been set into groups. Like, this is a group, and it has a spawn chance of 25%. So this bridge to this middle piece will only be there 25% of the time. I think the outside area is pretty well lit. Yeah, it's very well lit. Let me just put a torch on the center piece just to kind of call it out. Lights, torch, then kind of just stick it right there. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I think that helps a little bit, maybe. And maybe I'll rate it as a 4, because the overall layout is super symmetric and it's not terribly interesting, other than this little center feature here. So it has been updated. It is lit decently well enough. The trims, lots of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like 24. Yeah, no, definitely. There have been several YouTubers who've been very good to us, and we'll definitely reach out to them. I think Axial might still be here in chat. He's helped promote us from a very, very early on stage. Maybe he's popped out, but yeah, there are some folks we'll reach out to. Decorations. There's a decor pile there. Yeah, decoration is something I can improve real quick. I can just throw some of these breakable pots in the corners, and that's an easy thing to do. So, breakables, pot, and then I can just kind of tuck these away in this area here. And then maybe over, maybe again, trying to entities, Breakables pot. Just add some interest. Got that there, got that there. Maybe in this corner I'll put some crates or something. Place marker monster, then remove this marker. Then place entity breakables crate or barrel. I don't use a lot of barrels. That's probably not a bad. Well, barrels mostly fall in the sewers, so I'll keep the barrels kind of in the sewers. And then here entity breakables crate. There we go. So that should be like 8 decorations now. Let me just go file, save. Enemies, lots of enemies, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemies. And how many pieces of loot? It looks like none. I'll put some loot out here in this area to tempt people out there. So place entity, spawners, item spawner, and then I just kind of slide it out here. And then what I can do is say maybe this has a spawn chance of 0.75, and I'll put another one right here. And then let's make sure they don't, yeah, they clip through, so you gotta be careful. Maybe just give it a little bit of wiggle room on the Z. Pull it up, so when you hit play, they just fall there. There we go. So they, oh, I guess, okay, looks like they're honoring it okay. Yeah. Because I don't always want 2 items to be here. So there's a chance there'll be no items. There's a pretty decent chance there'll be 2, and there's a good chance there's going to be 1. So there we go. So we got two items in there now. So file, save, 2 pieces of loot, more or less. Cool. Next, file, open, 12. 12.bin. I wonder if I should really quickly just kind of reconfigure my windows. Let's try doing something like so I don't need to see this long of a list, so maybe I can do something where I position this up here like this, and then have this spreadsheet down here in the bottom, because I don't think you folks care too much about the actual details of the spreadsheet. Maybe pull this up here, something like that, and have my working. I can just pop back and forth between the two pretty easy. There we go. Maybe that makes more sense. Even though you can't see what I'm updating, I'll just call it out. It's not that. Okay, so next is 12. File, open, 12. Yeah, this doesn't really like to be resized, does it? Maybe this is a little bit easier to look at though. Cool. So yeah, this is pretty darn interesting. I'm gonna rate it a 5. We got a lot of stuff going on here. So it has been touched. So 5, and is it properly lit? Is the next question. Yeah, it looks pretty well lit. We got some of the cool the moonlight features going on in here. And Cuttigan did heed my advice that like we do have these god rays, but the god rays only go one direction. So these windows here still emit light, but they don't emit god rays, because god rays imply that if you were to trace a line along the god ray, it would point out to the thing casting the light. So that would be the moon in our case, and there's only one moon, so the god rays all should point in the same direction. So that's cool that he followed that little piece of advice. And I doubt that people even notice it really, but it makes me happy. Cool, yeah, so this is a pretty darn interesting room. It is properly lit. It has lots of trims. Looks like maybe 20 at least. Decorations, lots of decorations too, like ladders and ledge features. So like, again, 1, 2, 3, maybe 20. Lots. Enemies. 1, 2, 3. 3 enemies. Loot. It looks like no loot. Excuse me. Actually, I can, let me see, I can, where's my head? There's my head. There we go. Nice. Chris says a great feature for the editor would be either a or connection between objects if one spawns. And yeah, that, well, the way to do that is to create a prefab and just give it a list of names, and it will choose one out of those. The thing we don't, the thing that, so like here, what we do is we group them together, and then we just put a spawn chance on them, which is a way of not creating a prefab but getting a similar result, but not an exact result. Yeah, but you could certainly do that with prefabs, and we do that in many places. Okay, so I think that one's done. Let's go to 13. Load. Okay, yeah, this one's definitely cool. Yeah, I'll say it's maybe a 5. True. Let's take a look at the lighting. Lighting's pretty good. Yep. You can always tell the ones that we've done more recently. Just again, these are just rough indicators of quality. It's not a like a mandate or anything. So this is a lot too. 4, 5, so maybe 25 pieces of trim. It's a lot. Decorations. Got the nice archways. So there's 1, 2, 3, and what else? Lots of chains. Yeah, like maybe 15 because there's so many chains. Enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 enemies. 6. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enemies. That's a lot. And loot. Did I see any? No pieces of loot. Okay. Mark Solly says there are pots now. Yeah, that was something I added a little while ago. Yeah, there are pots now. Yeah. Yeah, I could put a few in here just for good measure, right? They're under the breakable category. Breakable is pot, and this is a prefab that is either it is either like this pot or it's the small pot. And when you hit play, it chooses between either or of those. And I'll just place a few in here. But I want to keep it locked to the current plane that it's on. Otherwise, they'll just float up in midair, and we'll get another praise the chair situation. Cool. There we go. Yeah, there's lots of detail put in this one. File save. Okay, that was 13.bin. Let's go to the next one. File open. 14.bin. Okay. Yeah, this one, I just don't really like these huge areas. Yeah, they're just like, from like a player's perspective, is that interesting? It's just, it just kind of goes off into the blackness, which is, I guess is okay. Maybe if I put some raptors in here, that might fancy it up to make it look a little bit more interesting. But we can't really, like, the diagonal stuff just won't work. Like, the collision on the diagonal doesn't work at all. So having these rooms, these weird dimensions is tough. I could just make them square. That'd be all right. Let's just try that. Yeah. So this is 14. It has been refreshed. It is properly lit. Is it? Let me. It's looking like this needs a lot of love. Yeah. Let me just mark this one as false, and let's say so. I'll come back to it. I'm just gonna try to get through these real quick without doing a lot of work, and then I can come back and do some work on the ones that need lots of love. Interesting. I'm gonna say this is maybe a 3, maybe. Yeah, it's just so samey and so symmetric. It's not really terribly interesting. Trims, 8. Decorations. There's a little gold pit here in the middle. That's kind of cool. There's no real decoration though. I'm gonna mark it as a 0 in decoration, which is kind of bad. Yeah, let me do this, and then do a format, conditional formatting. Cell text contains 0, and make that bad. And text is exactly 0. Done. Yeah, so no decoration at all, I think, is probably a bad thing. Okay. And enemies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Looks like a 5. 5 enemies, and loot. Looks like there are two loot placements, but a bunch of gold. So 1, 2, like I'll not count the gold because I haven't been. So let's just leave that as that is. Okay, so that's one we need to revisit. Let's look at 15. File open. 15 load. Yikes! Yeah, this one has not been touched at all. Yeah, it's just a big old open. Oh, oof. Man, so interesting. 1. It is not interesting. Well, maybe a 2 because there's a floor difference, but other than that, it's not interesting. Trims, 0. Decorations. There is a couple decor piles. There's 3 decor piles in here. Enemies. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies. Not 85, just 5. And how much loot? 1, 2. Looks like 2 pieces of loot. Okay. Cool. We're coming back to you. Yeah. Because I guess we were working, like, I think for the intersections, Chad was working from the top down and I was working from the bottom down, or kind of just picking and choosing. So that's why I'm trying to have this spreadsheet so we can do it a little bit more systematically. And we can also make sure that we've covered all the pieces. Because again, I want to make sure these are at a good quality level. This is kind of cool. This is, let's say, at least a 3, because we have this weird ramp feature in here. It has been. Do I want to come back to this? Maybe I could just fix it up real quick. So let's just say this is 16 Tango. That is true. What about lighting? Yeah, it looks like the lighting situation is under control. So let's make that true. True. Interesting, a 3. No trims. Decorations. There's 3 decor piles, 3 decorations in here. 3 enemies. 3? Maybe 3. Loot. There is 1. A single piece of loot. Yeah. Okay, let's just touch this up real quick. I want to add some rafters in here. I think that would be cool. So if we hit play, I think there's an opportunity just like right up in here, just to throw some of these horizontal beams, and I think that'd be a quick fix. So let's do that. Wood beam horizontal. I hit T to turn it, and then Z to pull it up on the Z-axis. And let's just kind of let's make it live maybe here. And let's just create a bunch of them. So we're gonna just use Alt and Control to drag and clone and snap these. Maybe pull it down on the Z-axis a little bit so we can actually see it. Plate. Yeah, so again, I want to imply these kind of low ceilings in Delver. I think that's what makes this area in Delver interesting, is these low ceilings. You constantly feel like you're ducking under. Plate. Yeah, so I think that's okay. Maybe I'll add just a tiny bit of symmetry by putting this on the other side as well, but I don't want to go all 4. I think that might be too much. Basically, I'm trying to also breaking symmetry helps you discern what part of the level you've actually been to and what part you've not. So we're going to break it for these 2 sides. And actually, I think what we can do is to make it interesting. We could just lower the ceiling here, right? And that would again help you navigate this area a little bit better. So we have these low ceiling areas. We have these high ceiling areas with these rafters. And I pulled that down to, yeah, right there. Okay, so I'm just using this other texture, this trim texture as a guide. Gotta pull this down right about there. Play. That feels okay. Maybe I want to down here in the middle. Hopefully this doesn't make it too narrow. Let's put in a vertical beam, kind of right here, smack dab in the middle. Yeah, maybe here-ish. We'll see. What does that look like? I don't want to spawn inside that guy. Let's pull it back so it's not so close to that edge. Cool. There we go. Play. Again, I'm trying to keep this stuff interesting. Also, yeah, I could just do it real quick. It's dungeon sets, beam horizontal. Kind of just shimmy that in there, like that. It's okay if it intersects. I don't. Again, that's all right. Play. Over here, play. There we go. Ooh, we've got the Z fighting. Let's just pull that up just a touch then. Flat the ceiling's fine. We won't see the Z fighting on that side. Nice. There we go. Seems okay. And you can still navigate around it okay. And then let's make this side different than that one, from that one also. How to do that? Cool. Yeah, it's always interesting to see what people work on for Ludum Dare. Okay, and then maybe on this side, how am I going to differentiate this side? Make it feel different. Let me add a cave feature. I haven't done that in a while. So let's grab the textures. Let's go to the cave texture sheet. And let's just set all of our stuff to cave. Do this rock stuff. Yep. And then I'm just going to kind of just chip out some of this stuff here, like that. Maybe like that. And then okay, I'll pull this one up. Okay, I can start playing around with some forms. And if you ever watch me do my cave stuff, you've seen me do this, you know, for hours. So hopefully, well, I guess you should know what I'm doing. That's for certain. Let's pull this front edge down. Pull this back edge down. Let's pull this up like that, and down, up. Maybe pull this whole thing up a little bit. And again, I'm trying to give a very good visual landmark, so if folks can remember, oh, there's this one side with the cave stuff going on, and that kind of helps you orient yourself in the dungeon, so you're not like super lost all the time. There we go. Let's, I guess, pull down a little bit. Okay, that's all right. Maybe pull this one down. Okay. Add a little bit of a slant to it. A little bit of a tilt. There we go. Little details that probably nobody notices, but they make me happy. Yeah, so this torch isn't going to get placed here because we don't place torches on empty tiles anymore, which is probably correct. There we go. But now since I made this a pillar, I have a little bit more little bit more room to play around with some of these shapes. And I could actually just put a torch right there. Let's put the torch back here. Then remove it from here. There we go. But I don't want to. Maybe turn off. Oh, paint adjacent is on. Let me uncheck that and then fix up some of these things that shouldn't have. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Play. Cool. And again, this is just adding some visual variety to this area, so you can pick it out easier. Cool. So Nibble says they want to be a game engine developer and not a game developer. Yeah, no, I get it. There's a whole different discipline that is involved in making tools and stuff, and I totally get the appeal of that. Yeah, but I think those are two definitely different people. Folks who make engines and tools and folks who actually make games. And I think they kind of need each other, but they're not necessarily the same person. I guess in rare cases they can be, I'm sure, but yeah, cool. Let me just kind of, I guess, change the ceiling here and just kind of play around with some shapes. Maybe the upper wall like that. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I could also break up this ramp to make it not as nice. Floor, dungeon. I think I have something like that. Maybe flatten this out and make it this broken texture. Maybe pull this edge down. Maybe pull this up just a touch. And maybe make this kind of just add some of the dirt stuff here. There we go. Again, just trying to make it visually different. Also, maybe I'll open this up too. Maybe make this part like more open and also make it kind of erratic. Make the ceiling this broken rubble stuff. Maybe it's a little bit more obvious of what I'm trying to communicate here. Like, because of our restrictions, like we can't do like things precisely, so it's okay that we imply stuff. There we go. So here's the cavey part. Then we have this again, just adding variety. Yeah, maybe over here I'll add a couple shelves, just again to add landmarks for folks to navigate the space with. So just slam that against the wall, and because it's clipping in the ceiling, I'm just going to pull it down. And as long as you hide like that bottom shelf there, it's just a small shelf. There we go. Just kind of maybe have this live on the other side of the torch like that. There we go. That seems all right. Cool. And over here, I think over here I'm going to really maybe I'll go all in on this kind of lower floor thing we've been doing. So we select those textures. Let me grab the dirt, and then I'm going to pull this down a little bit, and then over here I made this lower wall texture that is just for making these trim pieces. So now you can see how it just kind of nicely lines up. These are good for stairs or for recessed areas. So there we go. We have that. And then now I can just add some dirt to these areas. So like G, and then floor, like heavy dirt, and maybe here light dirt, and then light dirt there, and then maybe some light dirt there. Cool. Then maybe Maybe just go on and maybe just kind of push this tile further out like that. And it doesn't. I don't want to. It doesn't need to be super regular. I think folks get the gist that this is kind of like a there are some stones missing here for some odd reason. And even I could even do this corner piece too, which might be cool. Actually, let me put on the other side. Some floor like that, and then pull it down, and that creates a funky shape, which is okay. There we go. And yep, that's looking all right. I can actually even put. I think Chad added a entity. Where is the dirt stuff he put? Where is it? Misc meshes, dungeon sets, generator. He put in a pile of clutter. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me just go to the source code and search for it. Entities.dat dirt pile. It is in dungeon sets. So yeah, I put in dungeon sets. So I'm blind. Entity dungeon sets. Dirt pile. There we go. And I can just kind of slide this over here in the corner. Maybe I don't know, wherever it looks appropriate. These things are flexible. There we go. Yeah, now we just have these little sections of floor that look like the dirt's piled up for some reason, you know. Cool. I think that's helped this area come a long ways. And also too, maybe on this side, can I make these stairs? And that might also help differentiate. I don't know. That might be going overboard. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on a single piece right now. Let me just save this and move on. File, save. It's 1 o'clock. Oh my goodness. So I have an hour left. Let's save this. Let's close this. Was that 16T? I don't recall. I hope it was. Let's look at let's do a git status. 16T it was indeed. Okay. Actually, let me just run that real quick and update the stats on that one. Sorry. So file, open, generator, dungeon, intersections, 16 Tango, load, and then now we have a little bit more going on. Trims, we have 1, 2, 3. And then decorations, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enemies didn't change and loot didn't change. That's fine. Okay, cool. So let's just commit this before we forget. Updating dungeon / intersections. Cool. Mark Sly says, how do I add a fire effect to a weapon? What do you mean a fire effect? Like if you want to add, you can if you look at Candle, Candle has a particle emitter attached to it, and that might be what you're looking for. Yeah, like let's actually, since I've been working 2 hours, let's go ahead and play some Delver. I actually haven't played Delver at all today, which I apologize. Let's play some Delver and see what it looks like, just to try to get a good kind of feel for what it's like. Like you can really get like super like laser focused on fixing all these rooms, but until you see how these rooms compose and work together, like maybe I shouldn't get too far down that rabbit hole. Like burning an enemy on hit. I'm not sure if you can do that. Like, you can set it to fire. You can add the enchantment of fire, but I'm not sure if that might have a small chance to set them ablaze. I think it does. Okay, so this is Delver. This is the starting area. This serves as the hub. There's a shop. There's shops over here. There's a story guy over here. There's a music guy. I need to touch up these old mesh pieces. At least I need to update the textures. I want to actually just fix them. There are things about them I don't like. But yeah, hopefully just because like yeah, there's a different style now. So I just want to just replace them with the new stuff I've been doing. Yeah, let's go down into the dungeon. Yeah, so those are the corona effects that Chad has been working on. Yeah, I think it looks nice. Again, I think it's just all just a balancing act. Because at first, like my knee-jerk reaction was to say, you know, oh heck no, like we're a pixel art game. But when I think about it, like basically like we are pixel art, but if you look at our lighting is smooth. Like our lighting has always been like smooth and colorful from the beginning. So like I think the corona on the lights actually fits in just fine. Yeah. So yeah, so here's this little storeroom area I built, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so you have this kind of open area which goes to a closed area. Let's tuck that there. Cool. Oh, a candle. Yeah, might as well steal the candle. Candle goes there. Yeah, we also have these new. So you can click on this attribute. I need to improve these icons a little bit, but this allows you to see your player. I should make this like a little info thing, just to be explicit about it. But yeah, this shows you your character stats and it gives you little tooltips on what they actually do. And of course, we have these pots. These pots, they have a 0% chance of dropping stuff. They're there just to kind of make the dungeon feel more real. And also when you explode them, they feel nice. Yeah, and you also now can throw things. You can throw any item by holding down Q, and it will perform a charge. Yeah, yeah. I need to get rid of that fool. Ah. Okay, this bottleneck is killing me. 5. It burns. Okay, I drank poison. That's a good way to do that. Yeah, but yeah, you can charge up and throw any item, and it will do an attack on hit. What's also nice too is you can throw wands as well. I tend to find myself that I'll be shooting a wand, and when the wand is out of charges, I just throw the empty wand at the bad guy. It just feels nice. This is a worn Iron Spike Mace of Haste. I'm not gonna worry about that. Yeah, no, I'm liking these new areas. They definitely make the dungeon feel way more polished. And again, because this is the first area folks are going to hit, we want to make sure that it feels the best. Cool. Yeah, it is still room hall, but that's okay. Like my experiments on doing something other than that is like making the dungeons way harder to navigate. And I think this slight little bit of linearity is okay. Like it actually it makes the space a little bit more navigable. There we go. Yeah, and Chad did tweak the health on the doors so they do break open a lot easier. I think that was kind of a hurdle for new players that like they would encounter a door that was stuck and they'd hit it a couple times and it wouldn't break, so they would think that they had to go get a key or something. So that's nice. So yeah, so I think our overall efforts are hopefully paying off. That where this area looks way better than it used to, with lots more variety and just cool stuff to see and stuff to happen. Yeah. Ah, explosion. Oh, which also that's interesting. Yeah, so when you drop things, they kind of like if you throw it, there's a little bit of a twist to it. And I think just dropping things in general, they twist. See if I can hit him with my dagger. Yeah, there we go. Also, I think it makes it easier now to trip traps too. Like you can throw anything by holding down Q, and it's a thing you can charge. So I think it makes it a little bit easier to kind of like throw things at different distances without having to pop open your inventory, because that is just cumbersome. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how this is coming together. Down. All right. Let's see what's in store for us this time. Yeah, this start area feels pretty bland. There's not really a lot going on. I mean, these angled walls are kind of cool, but there's nothing really else here, so this probably needs some love. Okay, short bow of ice, and I have no arrows. I'm thinking I should maybe make some sort of like little wall decorating thing that's just a couple arrows stuck into the wall and have that just kind of spawn at random. I think that might be a nice way to kind of add some arrows to the mix so they're not super rare like they are now. Whoa! Can I lure you all into a spot and just blow you all up at once? And was that even a good shield? Yeah! Okay, it didn't kill him. I was hoping it would. That would have been nice. Ooh, a fine. Okay. Speed -6. No thanks. Cool. Onward. Ah! I really hope that she hit him, but I don't think that she can. But in my brain, she killed him to get at me. Oh, there's our arrows. Okay, now let's see which bow do we really want. Short bow or worn short bow of ice? I think the worn short bow of ice because it does ice damage. Let's just keep you tucked away there. Bow mode. Okay. Ah! Yeah, and Chad has also tweaked the mages, so they're a bit of a glass cannon, so they have way less health, but they still do significant damage. This is a nimble steel sword. 6 to 10 damage, plus 2 speed. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. I do want the speed bonus. Ah, I'm in a bad spot. Yeah, here's one of the new rooms we worked on. Cool. So hopefully, yeah, I think I can kind of tell which direction is which, maybe. Or maybe I'm just being too lenient on myself. Yeah, yeah. The cavey stuff. Yeah, like I guess with the cavey stuff, it's always important to check that, make sure that the players can't get stuck inside there. Yeah, making all the rooms for the cave areas was a pain because of collision issues. Okay, so what do I want to do with you? I want to... can I... I don't care about the short bow. Let's throw that short bow there. Whoa! Oh my, that was... Don't know my own strength. Yeah, I passed it. I'll not worry about it. Yeah, this is another area that we fixed up that's probably a little bit better. I say probably. Looks like these guys are stuck in the stuck in there, so we need to fix that because it looks like their spawn marker is right here, and they clip inside this a little bit so they can't move. So that's not super interesting. +9 attack. Wow, that's nice. Very nice. And here, you know, so I'm using the trim textures and all these kind of little dips, so we get a nice like finish to the steps down, which I think looks good. All right, let's open this up. I think when I hit the next floor down, I will quit. Yeah. So what's this area all about? Oh. Ooh, I think I recognize this one. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I thought that might have been a level down, but that wasn't. Okay. All right, speed. We need more speed in our life. Yeah. No, I think I do think the throw is a good add. I don't think any stat increases it, but it's nice just to be able to. Well, Chad does say it does an attack roll, so I'm not just sure if it just counts as like a very far away attack. It might. Iron Mace. Okay. I think it just does a normal attack roll, or if it's junk, it just does an attack roll as junk. Yeah, now it's way easier to do that. If you wanted to do a a junk run, you should be able to do that. That should be a thing now that's possible. Yeah. Yeah, so I can use my skull to split some skulls. Yeah, and I added this little area here so you can get up into the rafters. Sometimes you can, like, there's more, some of these bridges will, like these bridges here spawn kind of at random in here, so you can go further or shorter in this area. What's in here? A composite bow. Leave it there. Lesser fire wand. Why not? Yeah! I can't remember if junk is indestructible or not. Get him. Okay. Retrieve my skull. Nice. The skull of death. Oh, is there somebody down there? Ah, run! Run away! Yeah, cool. Oh! So it's easier to hit him point blank, I suppose. Okay, let's get back to our skull build. Okay, there we go. Cool. Let's get back to working. But it was nice to actually play Delver for a little bit and to actually make sure that it's coming together nicely. And I think it is. Again, feel free to give me feedback, folks, if you thought there were areas that needed a little love. I think there's an intersection I need to revisit because we had some monster spawners inside of Geo that weren't quite working. Again, Hawaii Beach, at this time, this is so late in the game, like, you know what you're asking for, we can't do. Like, I'm in the, my gut tells me we have a few weeks left on this project at most. So I'm just trying to make the most meaningful changes that I can within the time I have left. And I do not recall the name of that intersection. At least I think it was an intersection. Let's not do that. File open. 14 load. Oh, was it a corner then? Yeah, I think I went through all the corners. Let's check corners. I think that might be right. Yeah, for future Joshua, when doing this style of procedural generation, it might be nice just to have a way to ask, like, what room is this I'm currently in? Because right now, like, I just have to open them all and inspect them and try to figure out which room is the problem room. That might be a nice thing. It's also for bug reporting too. Like when people find broken rooms, like the best I can have them do is just send me a screenshot of the map, and then again I just kind of do the same process where I'm just looking through all the tiles or all the rooms trying to find out the offender. This is 4bin, 5.bin. Oh man, file open. Is it going to be really the last one? Is that what's going to happen here? 6.bin. Bin. Open 8.bin. Okay, it was second to last one. Yeah. So the issue I'm having here is, see how these monster spawners are actually is overlapping with this mesh geo, is they get stuck inside here. So if you hit play, you'll see that they just kind of march in place and they can't get free. Well, the zombie got free somehow. Oh, the zombie's in the corner. Is that enough of a difference? Yeah, so let's try that. Let's just try moving these markers. Actually, just move the markers all the way away. Let's just not even have it be an issue, right? So let's remove this marker. Then remove this marker and place this marker here. And then here, remove this marker and then place this marker here. There we go. So now these monsters won't get stuck in Geo and they won't be sitting ducks, which is more interesting. Cool. So let's save this. File, save, and let's take a peek. Well, I didn't need to close that. Git status. Git add dot git commit dash m fixing monster spawn location. Git push. I mean, daily challenge might be cool, but again, like, I think that the trouble with that is we'd have to go through the entire code base and make sure that things are deterministic. Like right now, like for example, like when you break a crate, we do a roll right then to see if it drops or not, and we'd have to do all those up front, if that makes sense. Like a lot of anywhere that we roll a dice, we have to make sure that that was done at level generation time, and that and ensure that the seed is always generating the same kind of level. So there'd be a lot of work there that might be interesting to do, but that would be mostly on Chad's end. But yeah, no, like the daily challenge is a cool thing. Thank you, Y Beach. I appreciate your compliments. Okay, let's just keep on pushing with these intersections, right? Let's finish our audit of the intersections, and then let's start fixing some of the ones that are the worst offenders. File. Actually, let me do this and then try to get it repositioned. Nope. No, start bar. No. What's going on here? Why am I having such a hard time with things? There we go. There we go. Cool. All right, so 17 looks like that's where I left off. So dungeons, intersections, number 17. Let's do it. Oh, this is cool. Oh, it makes use of some of these carpet tiles, which is nice also. So yeah, so 17, it has been updated. Let's check out the lighting. Can be improved. Well, what's with the? Why is that torch? Oh, I guess yeah, I think the lighting is good. Just some of these hand placed torches don't show up correctly when I hit the L key. For that, I think the lighting is good. Interesting. I'd say this is a 4. There's definitely interesting things going on. There's, yeah. This little stair is cool, I guess, up and down for no real apparent reason. Trims. I'll count these as trim. Well, there's say 4. And then decorations. There's a little chair there. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 decorations. Enemies. As 3. Looks like 3 enemies and a single piece of loot. The question is, should I come back to this or can I live with how this is? I think it's fine. I'm trying to think, like, if I were to make any changes, what changes would I make? I think it's okay. I mean, it's pretty wide open. The roof is super flat. Maybe adding just some changes there would help. How to do that? How to do that? Yeah, because that is the one thing I would change. Yeah, so the stock Windows one was broken. Whenever in Java we use the stock Windows one, it would pop up behind the editor, and people would think Delve Edit was frozen. And we tried a number of fixes. We could never fix it, so we just wrote our own, which is why we went that route. Yeah, because for years it was just the native file browser, but that was broken on Windows. Yeah, so Chris is saying this adds a cathedral-ish feel. Maybe what I could do is maybe I'll create maybe I'll create an okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create like this is kind of this axis along this direction and put some windows up there. I think that might make things more interesting. So yeah, I want to get rid of those giant arches, Chris, or either get rid of them or touch them up. I'm not quite sure which. Probably just touch them up. I want this long axis to kind of go this way. And then maybe pull the ceiling up here. If that makes sense. Okay, flatten this out. I can fix it later in just a second. Let's pull this up. Nice high ceiling. And then Hawaii Beach says, oh, the native libgdx. No, I'm saying the native OS file dialog picker is broken in Windows, in the fact that it was always pop up behind Delve Edit, and it would never show. People had to Alt Tab to it, and as a result, we got a lot of folks just saying that our editor was broken, and we could never properly fix it. I looked at it, Chad looked at it, we tried dozens of different changes, we've had other third parties look at it, we could never get it working quite right. I'm saying that's why we did our own implementation of a file picker. Not ideal, but it gives us a better result than a broken file picker on Windows. So like we don't do things at random. We definitely have like business cases for most of the stuff that we do. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a window here at the end. Place entity dungeon sets. Where is it? Window. Cool. And then I'm going to just kind of okay, that's too close. I need to pull it further out. Kind of push it up there. There we go. Yeah. Then maybe also at this end. Yeah, so yeah, those big arches were some of the they're pretty old, and I really would like to have them updated. Okay, let's do that. Put that there. Okay, I can remove the torch here because I want it to be dark. So I want to put a. Chad was putting in those. Here, let me. The Mac side was correct, and we tried that. Yes, that's exactly what we tried, Hawaii. Oh, the Java one? I can't remember. I know. I just know that the native OS ones were broken, which is why we rolled our own. Okay, so let me save this real quick. File save, because I want to copy and paste. I guess I can't remember where. Let me say. So let me just do a file entity ambient light. Well, let me just find it. Let me just not try to do that. Let's go file open. Oh man, I can't remember where. Corners. Which I don't remember which one was it. Is it? I can't remember where chat was using it. There's so many of them. Let me just try ballparking it, I guess. Lights, ambience, and I want to put it up here, and I just want kind of this bluish purpley light, I think. That's way too much, so I can darken it and maybe desat it a little bit. Okay, play. That didn't do anything. So let me pull it further away from the window, and let me pull the range down to like 1. Yeah, that's not working. Okay, I need to find where this is at. So this is intersection 17. I need to find where he's created some of these windows so I can just copy and paste his the Godray stuff. I want to say one of the corners has it, but I'm not 100% now. File open. I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Corners load. Nope. 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 I kind of have a feel which one has it. 12 load. File open. No, file open 14. Nope. File open 2. Maybe? No. File open 3. File open 4. File open. Wait. Is that it? Maybe not. It's outside, so it shouldn't have that file open. Fine. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted. So I want to copy the light and this Godray thing. If I can grab them. That. And at least with the light, I can scribble down maybe the light settings. It is 60 or 0, 68, 149. Cool. Have an open window that can see the skybox. Not really. Like the skybox is just what's not drawn, so there's no real way to have it. It would be weird. You get that thing where, like, I don't think we can do it. Good luck, Ned Bolter. Don't kill yourself. Have fun, all that jazz. Okay. We just copy this, then file, open, intersections 17, load. And then for this window, I can just hopefully just paste this in. There we go. And just turn it to get it how I like it. There we go. Pull that up. There we are. Place entity, lights, ambient, and then the color was 0, 68, 149. Nice. Yeah, I think that is really nice. Maybe I'll add another one at this end without the God ray, just to kind of indicate that there is light spilling in, but it's not direct light; it's just ambient. Okay. Entity dungeon sets window. Just try to make this the same Z height as the other window, more or less. That's close, yep. And then just snug it up against the wall. But we don't want it intersecting the wall. We kind of just need to pull it off the wall just a touch there. There we go. And now I can just grab this light, maybe. Let me just pull this that way and then make a copy of this. And there we go. Cool. Yeah, I think that makes this area more interesting. And then, in fact, I can put maybe some rafters up there too. Place entity, dungeon sets, wood beam horizontal. And something like that, I think would be okay. Cool. See what that looks like. I'm going to add some verticality, some color variation. Whoa. Oh, I forgot to add the stairs on that side. Remove marker, and then do this, and then grab the edge, pull that up, and then right click, place entity architecture meshes, stair. And then I can kind of just slam these in here. Duplicate on the Z, and push them along the X. They're too high, but I can pull them back down. And then just kind of, right now we're getting some Z fighting on this edge, but I can just kind of just gently just push them inside the geometry. There we go. It's hard to notice, and it looks, there's no Z fighting. There we go. Cool. Maybe I'll add a third rafter. That seems to maybe be a better spacing. Let's just try that. Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Getting beat up here. Cool. Let's call this one done for now. So file, save. This is 17.bin. Add some more trims. Let's crank that up to looks like 9. And yeah, I think that's, other than that, that's fine. Let's go on to the next, which is 2.bin. File, open. 2, load. Lots of open space in here, but let's see how it plays. So 2.bin has been refreshed. True. It is properly lit. That's the next question. Oh, looks pretty dark. especially if there's an entrance over here. So I'm gonna drop down a torch right there. Marker, torch, play. Okay. So yeah, you can't see this torch over here, but that's fine because you can see the light from it, which is almost as good. Probably, I mean, it's you don't have to always be super explicit. And then there's a torch there, so that X has a torch. That exit has a torch close to it. There's actually an opportunity. No, there's not. Okay, because I use the door archers to kind of indicate where the next area is, and these are all kind of tight. So you don't need door arches, but just something I think about. Yeah, no, I think that the God Rays do add quite a bit, and they fade when you get close to them, so hopefully they're not too overpowering. But yeah, no, it adds a nice it kind of lets you feel like you're not super deep in the dungeon yet, like you're still getting a little bit of the moonlight coming through. I think they do add quite a bit. Yeah, I want to light this back area up a little bit. It just feels so dark right now. Here, let me just do something like this, where I'll just G, then I'll make maybe a little nook here. Maybe pull the ceiling up a little bit. Place a torch here. Cool. Yeah, it's just so cramped right here. Super cramped. Let me just widen this out, I suppose. There's no reason it needs to be one wide there. And then sometimes too, maybe I'll just grab this and I'll hit U, and I'll just flip it so that we get just a little bit more widening of the area. Play. There we go. And then here, maybe just put some little feature here, like a bookcase, dungeon sets, bookcase. You know, those tidy, just kind of put that against the wall. Is it exactly the same height as the ceiling? I guess that's okay. We get some Z fighting going on from this this door here, so I'll just use this to hide the Z fighting. Beautiful. Play. There we go. That looks all right-ish, more or less. Yeah. Yeah, again, maybe I can do the same trick here where I just kind of flip this until I get just a little bit more breathing room in this back area. These corners are kind of sharp, but that's okay. Ah, there we go. Yeah, and the low ceiling works because this area has a really high ceiling, and I think that's cool. And the rafters are nice. Yeah, especially with the bats in there too. That's really cool. Yeah, let's let me see. So let me save this file, save. And this is 2.bin. I think the lighting is good. I think it's very interesting because those God Rays are a really good effect. There's all kinds of trims all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Say a dozen. Decorations lots. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Say 20. Enemies. How many enemies do we have? 1, 2, 2? I see 2 or 3. I see 3. 3 enemies. Hey, Nympheus. See you, Hawaii Beach. Hey, Nympheus, thanks for popping by. I feel really bad. I took some time trying to see if I could figure out my build issues with libtcod and Rust. And on the GitHub page, there's a big, right underneath the linking binaries, there's a big thing that says, linking the MinGW binaries does not work. So I felt a little foolish about that afterwards. But how are you? Okay, and loot. I'm just scanning for loot. 1? Looks like a single piece of loot, which is, oh, 2 pieces of loot. Two. Okay, file, save, file, open. Can you? So apparently my little puppy behind me is having dreams. Yeah, I do feel bad though. Nivius, maybe maybe I could figure out something better to do for my subscriber stream, because I feel worried that just like watching me struggle with something for like I felt like for like 3 or 4 hours of that stream I was struggling with getting like build environment set up and stuff, and that can't be it's not fun for me, and it can't be fun for folks to watch. So I'm trying to think of maybe something different to do for my my subscriber streams. So again, please let me know what you'd like to watch me work on, or maybe a better format, maybe something slightly different. Maybe anything is too broad. Let's add a little torch there. Nice. Put a torch on the wall here. Or is that going to clip inside the geo? Let's see. Yep, that puts it there. All right. There are 2 torches there. That's good. Over here, I think there's a nearby torch ish thereabouts. I'll just put an additional one over here. Place entity. I won't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. File, save. So this is 3.bin. It has definitely been updated. It is properly lit. Interesting. Let's say it's a 4. There's definitely some cool stuff going on here. Trims, none. And decorations, plenty. There's lots of rock rubble, which is cool. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decorpa. No, there's six decorations. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 enemies, and 1, 2, 3 pieces of loot. Cool. And let me save this. I think I did tweak some torches. Let's open this up and let's look at 4.bin. Load. My son is much better. So thank you for asking. It's very kind of you. My poor kiddo had the stomach flu, and then he got pink eye and an ear infection, and it was probably a rough week for us. But the stomach flu is gone, and he's eating like normal, which is a big relief. We can still tell his ears are hurting him. He's still pulling at his ears, but we have antibiotics for that. And for his pink eye, we have eye drops that we give him several times a day, and that seems to have cleared up quite a bit of that as well. He's just more. He's like 90% now. He's way closer to being his little self again, which is really relieving to see. Because when he was sick, all he wanted to do was just lay on me and sleep, which is, I mean, it's I guess in some ways it's nice, but in some ways it's really bummer to see him like hurting so bad. No, Niphius, my Minecraft modding was just as rough. Like I spent most of my time setting up like forged the forged for Minecraft. It takes there's considerable setup getting the build stuff going. So I finally, and then the API documentation isn't super great, and all the examples are out of date. So I think by the time at the end of the stream, I got like a test item working that was just an untextured like thing that extended axe, and then I was so tired. I'm like, let's just do the roguelike lunch break and let me chill. And then even on that, my brain was so tired. I've been streaming like 6 hours already. Like I struggled with that too. So I might do shorter, and I might have a smaller like space for me to work in. The Blender 3D section of my stream was the most popular. It had up to 36 people watching at one point in time, which was pretty cool. So maybe that makes me think I should just do some Blender specific streams, because folks seem to be into that. This is a cool room. I'm gonna grade it as a 5 because we have some dungeon stuff going, or we have some bars there. We have some verticality stuff there. We have these cool walkways. This has definitely been updated. This is well, I jumped the gun. Let's check out the lighting. Let me fix the lighting because this is there's some darkness going on here. Yeah, let me let's just grab these textures. Let's extend this over by 1. Let me shimmy, place this marker loot there. Let's remove this marker here. Let's pull this back 1, and then let's just slam in a door arch here. Do I have room for it? Let's pull the ceiling up to here. And then let's pull the ceiling up there. Entities, dungeon sets, door arch. Okay, so this got pulled down too high, pushed up too high, so let me pull this back down. Then let's pull that down a little bit. There we go. Nice. So then I can say slam a torch here. Then I can put some breakable pots in here because I just love those things. And again, I think Chad's kind of vision for this area after we talked about it a little bit was like this is like a kind of like a castle like sub basement. So like stuff you'd expect to find like in like a cellar. So like lots of storage and like just kind of like junk, which I think works well. Cool, got that stuff there. And the little, I think the torch helps a bit. I mean, it calls attention to it, which is good. Maybe I'll put a torch here in the middle. Maybe that's better. Again, just trying to link all the torches. There we go. Nice. Okay, so I think the lighting is just tweaked just a touch. Oh wait, so some of this entrance over here is kind of dark, kind of. No, there's that light there. Okay. File save. Okay. So yeah, we got some cool stuff going on here. Let's say trims. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And decorations. 1, 2, 10. 11. Like maybe 15. Enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thereabouts. Loot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's a lot of loot. 4 pieces of loot. Cool. File save. 5 minutes left, folks. Yeah, no, definitely. Development is development is tough. So I'm going to play the last 5 minutes. I think we're at a good stopping point. Let me just commit what I've got going. Git commit updating dungeon /intersections. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna chill these last 5 minutes. I'm just gonna, I guess, play through some of these new areas that the new dungeon that we've been working on. Like we have our spreadsheet. So it looks like we've done, it's 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So we verified roughly a third of the rooms. So I'll probably be spending a good chunk of my work week this week going through those. Let's just play some Delver and enjoy ourselves on the way out. Again, if you have any questions about development or any of this stuff, just let me know. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Like again, like with verticality in Delver, my mantra is always we try to imply that there's more verticality than there actually is. Because you don't need a lot of crazy verticality. You just need to have both verticality in the floor and in the ceiling, and then it feels like there's a lot. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like this. Chad updated this room to have this cool little this feature here where you can walk across, or you can go up the ramp. He added this window here because this is one of the old waterfall start areas, which is probably familiar to most folks. There we go. And I also like his suggestion to add these mud textures to the floor really adds a lot too. It kind of I think it's a nice mix of kind of preserving that cellar feel that he wanted. That some areas are kind of definitely rougher and maybe not finished quite. Like I've been to a lot of cellars that are unfinished or unfinished basements that just have dirt floors. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Things are looking up. There we go. All right. Yeah, and balancing rooms is a hard thing because we try to have a lot of variety, but like the rooms that get generated in a given dungeon layout aren't uniform. We don't always have the same amount of intersections versus corners versus halls, right? There are definitely like certain types of rooms that we encounter way more often than others. So you're more likely to burn through those variants than some of the others, and it's kind of just a hard thing to get balanced well. And maybe like perfect balance is definitely not a thing we're going for. But it's just nice to be able to play and have these new areas and feel like, you know, like it's familiar in some ways, but it's still also like brand new in some ways. And this guy looks like he's stuck on the geo. This is a hall. So let me just make a note of that. Hall monster stuck in geo. There we go. Hey, QHPix. Thanks for joining the stream, though I just have like a few moments left. Sorry about that. I'm doing good today. Yeah, no, like, try to think. I feel well rested. I actually had a little bit of time for some meditation before my stream, so I got into like a chill frame of mind. Cooked myself breakfast. Got to hang out with the kiddo. The kiddo is recovering. This ceiling here is all kinds of. This needs fixed. But yeah, no, I'm having a really good day. Streaming's gone really well. I think this is a corner section. I cannot complain. Also here, there's this interesting little thing that I did. I think I did on stream too, where you can get up here, and then if you can run across the rafter, there's an item hidden up here, an unholy iron sword. There we go. But yeah, that was stacking the stuff up was cool. It also kind of makes me want to add a secret the other direction too, where you can like run across these crates to get to something over there. But maybe not. Maybe there's enough secrets already packed into this corner. And smack. There we go. Throwing stuff feels so good. Ooh. Yeah, there's definitely no skybox, and I think we definitely should have the start camp skybox for this area. Otherwise, it feels weird just opening up to blackness. And there's also a missing texture there, which makes me wonder. It makes me wonder what's going on there. Huh. Also, too, I think calling this out with a torch probably helps. You can still go down here and get back out, and you can also cheat and get across here. Also, these wood posts shouldn't be getting placed here. Uh-oh, I hear a little voice. So they must be back from swim class. Yeah, let me wrap up then. Yeah, I think I'm really liking these changes for this the dungeon area. I think it's looking good. I'm really happy with the progress. I'm sorry it's been slow. Like we're trying to make the best that we can. Um, and we love this game. It's a passion project. We've been working on it in our free times, for 5 years now. We're trying to get it to a good finished state without just abandoning it. And I appreciate everybody's support. So I'm Joshua. I am one of the two people working on this project. This project, if you don't know, is called Delver. You can find it at delvergame.com. It is a first-person dungeon crawler, procedural, roguelike, and first-person shooter elements. We're available for $7.99. When we release later, probably within the next month, we will raise our price to $9.99. So if you want to get a little bit of a discount, you can do it now. There's also a Humble widget if you want that. You can follow me here on Twitch or on Twitter at Joshua Skelly and find out when these things happen. What else? I also do a weekday stream. I make a little Twitch-based roguelike, a very traditional one that people play and chat while I work on it, which is fun. I do that Monday through Friday. I do it on my lunch hour, so that's at noon to 1 Pacific time. Yeah, and also I have an affiliate, so people can subscribe to me. That's a cool thing you can do. I appreciate my subscribers. My subscribers are Fifth Elephant, Nympheus, and Codrake. They really it just means the world that they support me. I'm trying to figure out good things to do for them. So right now there's a subscriber bot, so you can add chat commands if you're a subscriber. Also, I plan on doing something special for my subscribers at least once a week. This past month I did a subscriber Friday, or the last Friday of the month was subscriber day, where I did what they told me to do. But that was a little tougher than I thought, so I'm trying to I'm again willing to take suggestions. So basically, if you are a subscriber, let me know what you want to see next month, or what would because I want to keep you as a subscriber. I want to do stuff that you're interested in, or if you're not a subscriber, let me know what you'd like to see me do that would make you subscribe to me. I'm thinking maybe working on like some art assets and just letting my subscribers have them at the end of the stream. Not sure, because basically I guess the rub there is I want to make sure it's worth your time and worth my time, right? So yeah, just playing around with ideas. So thanks everybody. I really look forward to this Sunday stream. Look forward to getting Delver finished. I'm looking forward to making cool and weird stuff in the future and sharing it with you. So everybody have a good Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow for Lunch Break Roguelike.